Hello and welcome everyone to another edition of Scott Schilling Speaks. I'm your host, Scott Schilling. Going to talk about coaching today and a new coaching portal, new outlet with my friend, Eric Holst. Eric, thanks for joining me here on Scott Schilling Speaks.
Well, thank you, Scott. I appreciate the opportunity to speak on your podcast.
Yeah, we want to talk about CoachWares Marketplace today. So where did this idea come from? Let's start with that.
Well, this idea actually started from way back in almost 2009. So just a little brief story about myself is I'm actually a degreed mechanical engineer that has a master's in management. And I spent the first 15 years out of school in aerospace. And in 2009, my dad decided to retire from his electronics manufacturing business, semi-retire, I should say. And he wanted to get out of the day-to-day manufacturing operations, and I'd had it past my top of my head with corporate America. So I went on and took over his business basically. And long story short, 2009 housing crisis, economy was in the toilet, struggled to make sales, and then in about 2011, early 12 timeframe, I realized that I didn't have the skills necessary to actually do sales. And at that point in time, I had two decisions to make. Either I go back to school for another 4 years and get a, kind of sales and business, or go find a coach. And I chose the latter. I went and searched for a sales coach. And after an extensive search, I found a gentleman by the name of Eric Holst. He opened my eyes to sales. And to be honest with you, he changed me forever, personally and professionally. And from that is basically where I got started with coaching. And now if we fast forward, and I should make a note that I actually met my current business partner in that event when I met with Eric in 2012.
Very cool.
So fast forward into 2019, November 2019, COVID had just kind of come online. Everybody was like, not really sure where this was going to go. A good friend of mine who was a coach says, Eric, I'm struggling. I cannot find clients. In this day and age of, everybody thinks of online marketing and all, like, Amazon. You need something, you go to Amazon. You need something else, you go to Walmart, all online.
Right.
So I was looking around, and a friend of mine, Randy, said, I can't find clients. I've struggled. I've done Facebook ads, I've done social media. I just can't get clients. And he says, I wish there was a marketplace where I could sell all my wares rather than putting my courses up on Udemy or Teachable and my masterminds on Mastermind and my books on Amazon. I wish there was one space. And so when he said that, I said, who do I know that's a programmer? My business partner. He's been doing it for 35 years. And so I got with George and we started developing CoachWares. And so that was November 2019. In July of 2020, of course, we know what 2020 was like. I reached out to my friend Randy and I said, well, guess what? We've got a beta version of the marketplace up. And would you be willing to come on? He said, unfortunately, I no longer am in the coaching industry. I said, I had to close my store and go get a 9-to-5 job to support my family. And right then it really hit me. It's like no entrepreneur should have to be forced back to corporate America because they can't get clients. And at the same time, it's so confusing out there to know who's a good coach, who's not a spam artist, so CoachWares, as we move forward, my goal is to be the Amazon for the coaching industry. This is where coaches will come to get clients and where clients can come to find coaches. It's a double-edged sword. So that's where that's how CoachWares got started.
Well, that's awesome. And agreed, as a sales coach myself, an executive coach, I end up, sometimes I'm in the sales pigeonhole and sometimes I'm in the overall entrepreneurial business pigeonhole. But I totally agree with what's going on. All of a sudden, there was a rush to business on the internet. You had to use the most overused word in 2020, pivot. I like to say reinvent instead, right? You had to reinvent in such a way to do that. So how are you going to differentiate your CoachWares from anything else out there? How are you going to become that Amazon of coaching opportunities?
Well, first off, we are we've decided to take a platform and make it available, basically make it available to any type of product. So we've designed CoachWares not only to offer the standard coaching stuff of books and workbooks and subscriptions and masterminds and that stuff, but we've also integrated a complete LearnDash platform. So we are a full-blown course hosting platform, the same platform most of the major universities in the country use. And then on top of that, we have recently, we're in the process of partnering with Zoho CRM. So we realize that not only do you need the marketplace, but you also have to manage those customers.
Right.
And, that's the problem with most, there are some out there that do it, but they kind of do it. Whereas Zoho is a fully functional CRM tool that not only can you manage customers, you can do emailing, you can do texting. They have their own equivalent of Zoom. They have their own equivalent of Webinar Jam or Evergreen Webinar. You can do, inbound calling with them. It's basically what we're finding is a complete and total package that is also fully accessible from your mobile device. So you don't have to be sitting at a desktop. If you're at a conference, you can tie in and get to all your contact data right from their mobile app. So when we the idea is to tie CoachWares to the Zoho. So anybody that buys in CoachWares goes right into Zoho. So now you've got customer follow-up. It's something that no one else has really done in this industry.
Yeah, that's an awesome combination. When you and I were talking the other day, I found that to be really attractive because the one thing that quite frankly, most entrepreneurs period have is bits and pieces. Everything is separate and there's no one particular tool. And I think one of the things, again, it's what a great opportunity to have somebody get a hold of your coaching material to take advantage of that, but then also be able to talk to them consistently and make sure that they're implementing. It's one of the things as a coach myself, I really work diligently to make sure people implement. I really don't want shelf help. I want people to actually put it into action like you did. That's awesome from that side. So who are you looking to give our audience the categories and the types of people you're looking for from the coaching standpoint?
Okay. Yeah, basically, as we put it, CoachWares is, I don't want to just use the term coaches. I mean, coaches kind of is a generic term, but
Right.
we're basically anybody in that coaching industry, in the personal development industry. So whether you're a coach, a consultant, a mentor, a trainer, there's all sorts of different buzzwords and keywords that people use for whatever they call themselves. But basically, we are looking for anybody in that personal development space. We are not limited to business coaching or life coaching. We have in there, we got a person that does Reiki. Reiki. I'm terrible with some of those words. It's like, really? Obviously, we have the business coaches. We have the sales coaches. We have life coaches. We have, there's just a gamut of people on the platform already. And if you're a coach, basically the sky's the limit. The only thing that we don't do right now is just because of some legality issues. We don't do anything with CBD just because of the legality. We don't do anything with medical marijuana because some states it's legal, some states it's not. And then some diet and stuff related, because it gets real complicated when it comes down to my credit card processing, surprisingly enough, is the crutch to a lot of that stuff. They just won't process it. But other than that, as long as you're basically generally in coaching, CoachWares is the place to be.
You just reminded me of somebody I need to introduce you to who does take that and does merchant processing for that. So remember that.
Okay.
I can help you with that right out of the blocks. So it's really welcoming people who want to develop themselves, personal development, grow across all areas of life, not just business.
Correct. And to really think about this, we're really like I said, the double-edged sword. We're looking for the coach that is maybe struggling to get their e-commerce store up, not realizing how complicated it really is. Because I'll tell you, after going through and building a marketplace and those hours spent online working through all the nightmares, E-commerce is not, I don't want to scare people away from it, but unless you're a web designer, you're going to really struggle with it. Because I luckily had a business partner that was in the web design business, so I could fall back on his expertise. To just hire somebody out of the blue, wow, I'd be really skeptical. But with that being said, everybody has to have, you have to be online. Let's be honest, you have to have online. And I'm not saying CoachWares is the only place you should be. Think about it this way. When DeWalt goes to sell a power tool, they don't just sell it in Home Depot. They sell it in Lowe's and Menards, at Ace, on Amazon, at True Value. There's a reason for that. The more eyes you have on your product, the more chance somebody's going to buy it. So we're just another platform out there that's really specialized, but in coaching, to really get your eyes on the prize. And so we help people get that information out to clients. And at the same time, we provide an environment that clients can come in anonymously, look at the product, look at the reviews, figure out what they want, figure out what the price point is, and bada boom, bada bing.
I think it's, I think that's a very healthy attitude as well, that it's not an us or nothing kind of thing. It's not an either or, it's a both and.
Exactly.
That it really is. How do we get the message out and create not only a loyalty of our constituents, but loyalty of our coaches and things like that. But they also understand that, it's because you're on their side. You're working to get their work going forward.
Exactly.
So,
and I was going to add one other final thing is that unlike other sites where anonymous people can leave a review, you actually, the way we've categorized our platform and designed the platform is that only legitimate buyers of the product, even if that means the coach gives somebody a coupon for 100% off, only the people that are, quote, registered users can leave a review. Because I saw what happened originally on Amazon, and you had a whole bunch of people writing spam reviews and, trying to badmouth other businesses. And I won't tolerate that at all. So I just wanted to throw that comment out.
Well, no, and I think that that's again, another healthy differentiator, right? To be there to help people get the word out. I know that personally, I've written checks to 19 mentors across my career. And the reason for that is I've always wanted to learn from the best of the best in that category, whatever that is. And my request of them has always been the same. Give me everything you got and I won't keep it. I'll utilize it with my students or my clients. And so how are you going? Is there going to be some fairly decent interaction between coaches? Are you working to create some camaraderie that way, as an example?
Actually, we are. We're in the process of kind of, now that we've got the platform up for the most part, we're actually going to do we did a launch for the client side back here about 2 weeks ago at the end of August on Facebook. Did a fair amount of marketing there. Now what we're going to do is in the end of October, we're going to do a launch again, more dedicated to the LinkedIn side, which is the coaches side, and start bringing more traffic in that way. So that now we're working in the coach side of it. But yeah, sorry about that. My thought just went poof.
All good.
I was going down some road and then the road just kind of vaporized in front of me. But please remind me what you were just asked.
Well, just about the camaraderie between coaches.
Yeah.
Or really creating a community within the community.
So one thing that we do right on the platform is that we allow coaches to write their own blog articles, and then we post it in a blog actually on the platform. So that does two things. One, it talks about themselves, and two, that's all searchable and indexed by Google. So that gives us more camaraderie there. We do have a calendar on the platform that is open to any store vendor, any coach that's a vendor that wants to promote like this event what you're doing right now, you could promote on CoachWares. We're going to in the process of setting up a private Facebook group for store vendors so that they can come in, if you got a question, maybe there's some marketing that you want to bounce off somebody else. That's going to be open for store vendors and store vendors only. which are all the coaches and consultants and clients. So you can kind of start to talk with each other, what's working for you? Hey, I want to be an affiliate for your product. How can I do this? And so we're going to use those online social media tools to help grow this industry. And to be honest with you, I just signed up to be a Be Connected partner. I'm very excited to look at integrating and working with Be Connected, because Be Connected is a huge social media environment for coaches too. So I look forward to us integrating and working together.
Yeah, very much so. We're on the Be Connected broadcast network here at Scott Schilling Speaks, and gives us the opportunity to do it not only internal to our global community in 74 countries already, but it also allows us to take it out and about, as we say,
Exactly.
out and around all the various places from that side, which is why I'm glad that we were introduced and we have the opportunity to share this. I think there's there's a definite need for some good quality coaching communities where, because again, if you've been on the road and you've done, major stage events, you've met a lot of really good coaches, and then there's a few others. And so what's your vetting process as to how to determine who the good ones are?
Well, a lot of it is done. We do have a review process. So you can't just sign up on the platform and your store goes out live to the world. So we do actually go through and review that whoever signs up, that they are a legitimate coach. Do they have a website? Do they have any reviews online? Do they have courses online? All these things we kind of look at to ensure that the people that we are getting are truly legitimate coaches. And we do have a policy in the platform is, if you must have at least one product up in your store before we're going to make your store live. If I do have several coaches that have bought into the platform, but have never gone to that next step. Well, that's telling me something. If you're not willing to set your store up, why should I bring clients to you? Are you not a legitimate coach? So we require you to have at least a minimum of one product up for sale. And it's not an expensive product. I think the minimum is $10, which is, it could be as simple as a video or an audio file or something to that nature, but it shows intent. And the intent here is that you're going to deliver your content when somebody buys, or your intellectual property, when somebody buys into your system and buys your time. So that's what we've done. That's how we vet our coaches.
Well, that's why I was looking forward to this, because I just wanted to let you know I got at least 18 modules ready to fly, and
Excellent.
and a few more. So we will certainly get those modules up there and work to spread some good foundational education to through the marketplace itself.
And I appreciate that.
No, I'm excited about it. I think that there's some great opportunities to work together and to get the word out. And I think it's something that a lot of people need right now, because I think there is a lot of confusion. You see Facebook ad after Facebook ad, and I think it's funny how people take the latest buzzword and then everybody has that same buzzword, right?
Exactly.
So now today, nothing is a class. It's a master class.
Exactly. Or it's a mastermind, or it's a master this, or exactly. And I have to be honest, I've gotten the ooh shiny syndrome. I've bought many coaching programs that I've never used or gotten into, but a lot of it also is, it comes down to how much is a coach willing to work with a student. One course I brought into, they said, yeah, we have 46 hours of training up front. And I'm like, who's going to do 46 hours? I don't have the time to do 46 hours of training. So can you condense this down into a workbook, like a Cliff Notes, for those of us that are old enough to remember Cliff Notes? Is there anything like that you can give me that'll get me started? No, you got to go through the training. I'm like, well, this is a waste of money. Thank you very much. Yeah. So we try and help people find those people that are willing to work with clients, and this is something that I've really kind of come to an aha moment over the last, let's say, 6 months, because I've done a lot of courses for people. So the way we do our platform is basically you bring your course material to us and my team puts it up. And the reason why we do that is not because we don't trust you to be working in the platform, but you're not a web designer. You don't have most people don't have the background that it needs to actually work in the LearnDash platform. It took me 6 months to get fluid with it. And you're selling your time. Time is money. So would you much rather spend 3 or 4 weeks trying to learn how to run a course platform and get it up, or you give it to me and my team can put it up in 7 days and you're making money? So that's where we go with that.
I think that's a great differentiator as well. There's far too many people, and I think it's one of the things, it's probably one of the most coached points that gets coached repeatedly, but not done by the coach who suggests it. And that is, stay in your core genius, do what you do well, hire out everything else that you don't.
Exactly.
So I agree with you wholeheartedly. That is news to me, and happy. I could do the happy dance right now because I do have plenty of stuff to send you, and look forward to your people staying in their genius.
And that's where we're at. I mean, time is money. Let's be honest. Time is money. And so don't throw away $1 to save a nickel. And so many coaches, and I get it. And, people are starting out, they don't have a lot of resources. We're basically, CoachWares Marketplace was built on the shoulders of George and I. We don't have any venture capital in this platform. I don't want venture capital.
Right.
Because I have my number one rule in business is he who writes the checks makes the rules.
That's right.
And so, to me, it's very important that we stay as cost competitive for all coaches. I don't want just the top end, but what I was getting at earlier is everybody needs an entry-level product, because a lot of coaches now are given the instruction, you need to go out and buy that, you get that $5,000 client. Well, a $5,000 client expects $5,000 worth of results.
Exactly.
And the problem I see with a lot of that is a lot of coaches may not be ready for that $5,000 client. And the problem is, if you get one of those and you don't overserve that person, the negative review could kill your business permanently. So you're better off starting out with some entry level, or, get through the gatekeeper, do an entry level. Matter of fact, this is a very interesting thing I've been doing some research on, and I'll keep it brief. I went to and looked at Tony Robbins. Anybody knows in the coaching industry, Tony Robbins is a #1 king.
Yep.
And when you go to Tony Robbins's website, and I'm not here to promote Tony Robbins, I have no affiliation with Tony. I'm just spelled that out. I'm just from a reference point of view. And I did the same thing with Les Brown. Here again, no affiliation with Les Brown, just looking at it from an outside point of view. When you go to both those guys' websites, at least Tony Robbins for sure, when you look at the products that he offers, Tony has products anywhere from about $15 to $249. Did have 1 or 2 products that was like $1,900, but nothing above that. So to get into Tony's programs, you're only going to outlay $30, $50, $100 at the minimum size. And that's very important, because this is the one thing that my sales coach taught me. You must build trust and rapport.
Yes.
Without trust and rapport, you have nothing.
Yep.
And so people are going to be willing to spend $20, $30, $50, maybe $100, $97 to try and see if they can build trust and rapport, see who a coach is. So this idea of going out and building a $497 course is great, but almost nobody's going to buy it because they haven't built that trust and rapport.
Right.
And it's so much easier to sell to that next level once you have them in and they see the value that you're providing.
I mean, it's very true. What you're saying is one of the modules is the 3 absolutes. What's in it for them? You got to come from another's orientation. People do business with those they know, like, and trust.
Exactly.
If they don't know you, they don't like you. If they don't like you, they don't trust you. They have to trust you to do business. And people take action when they're ready, not when you're ready.
Exactly.
I mean, and so you've got, by definition, then you've got to have know, like, and trust ahead of when they're ready, if you want them to buy from you.
Exactly.
So again, that's why I really like your approach, and I'm glad we've been able to talk about that here. Because again, I'm very much the same way. I would rather have you experience, although I do offer all 18 modules together,
Mhm.
they're also available independently.
Mhm.
And the reason is you might just want a little bite size or a little bit to get the feel to be able to move into something else. And then if you want to, put the rest of them all together, we'll figure something out, right? So I totally agree with you that there's almost a home run or nothing attitude in a lot of camps, and certainly not my camp. My camp is, how can I be of service to you, and how can we lift you up in whatever your need is today.
Exactly. And that's what CoachWares is designed to do. And that's why we built it the way we built it, is that, like I said, coaching is fundamental to my business. I've spent, I don't want to even think about how many tens of thousands of dollars I've spent on coaches over the years. But in the end, it has taught me one key thing. And I'm not here to sell anybody. I'm here to help you get to the next level in your life, whether that be in business, personal,
Right.
finance, it doesn't matter. That's what CoachWares is. That's what CoachWares is. It's a tool to help people find people like yourself, Scott, to move them to the next level. And let's be honest, everyone, coaching is a steal. Think about the life experience Scott has. You can't get that at any university. I mean, I'm a degreed mechanical engineer. I've got 15 years in aerospace. They didn't teach me that type of level in school. I had to learn that.
Right.
And what better way to get a person's life experiences in a condensed little tight package, or you can call them up and ask them a one-on-one question. It gives me goosebumps thinking about it, that people, and my father is a person that proposed coaching. He's like, he doesn't get it. He's like, I don't understand what you do. And I'm like, Dad, I can't even go there. If you've never experienced what a coach, a true coach that's changed your life has done, then there's no way I can explain it.
Totally agree. I mean, one of the reasons I think that I became a coach, on top of other things that I do, is I was a 5-sport athlete growing up, and I had some of the most amazing coaches, legendary coaches in their disciplines. And I saw the value of them being very nice to me from time to time, and them being less than nice from time to time to make sure that the point got across. And they did a good job. The point got across. I really, so I see the value of coaching myself. I always have. And that's why it is, people say, Scott, well, you're a speaker, you're an executive coach, speaker, and trainer. What do you like the most? Well, it's it's the coaching and training side. I love speaking, don't get me wrong. But speaking, you're kind of a rock star. You go up, you pontificate, you come back down and see you Detroit, right?
Exactly.
Whereas if you're a trainer or a coach, for me, it's a lifelong relationship. It's how do we help you get from where you are to where you want to be so that you can accomplish your goals, and then feel like the ripple effect that you've had has done some pretty good stuff there. So that's exciting. So amazing how fast this time goes. How about one little last word of wisdom for everybody, and then let everybody know how to get a hold of you.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, my word of wisdom is, if you're a coach and you've really considered creating a course, definitely do it. Because honestly, an interesting quick statistic, a friend of mine was telling me that only about 5% of the people in the United States read books anymore.
Yeah.
Physical books. People want their information through video feed, just like we're doing here now.
Yep.
So a course is a tool by which you can my tongue's getting tied. Experience your expertise as a coach, and a person can do it in a bite-sized manner on their time at their leisure. So a course, I actually see courses more important than books at this point in time, just the way technology is going. So with that being said, if you want to get a hold of me, the easiest way is to go to CoachWares.com, spelled CoachWares, like software, just in where, CoachWares.com. And on the bottom, there's a contact us page, and we'll be more than happy to answer anybody's questions that they have. There's a bookings on there too. You can schedule an appointment with me or anybody on my team, and let's have a conversation. Let's see where we can help you take your business, or if you're a client, come and check us out for, looking for a coach. We have coaches like Scott being added every day. And thank you for everyone's time.
Absolutely. Appreciate you being here today. Thank you so much. We're going to talk here as soon as we go off air. And thank you everyone for joining us here on Scott Schilling Speaks. Tremendously important stuff here, and glad you joined us here today. See you again tomorrow, exact same time. God bless.